Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to give my 10 choices for who should be in this Face Off reboot. If you haven't heard, there is a Face Off reboot being planned. Face Off was a movie from 1997 starring Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. I'm going to be honest, I never watched the whole thing. I remember seeing a little bit and then being turned off by the faces coming out of the people, and I was like, I'm done. Because at that age, I just didn't care. I probably would watch the movie today and probably enjoy it a lot more. Maybe I will go back and check it out fully. But yeah, at the time, my memory on the movie is very vague because I didn't really give it a chance. So, with that being said, Face Off is a fun idea where you pit two actors against each other because they have to swap faces and go at each other because one of them is playing an FBI agent, the other one is playing a terrorist, and and then they go at it. So it would be fun to see, okay, how would this actor play that role and how would that actor play that role once they switch? How would they play each other kind of scenario? And these are 5 choices. I got 10 different actors and put them in 5 different categories or 5 subdivisions. And this is in no particular order. It doesn't have to be best to worst or whatever. These are just 10 actors that 5 of them, or 10 of them that I want to see work together on a face-off type movie. It could be face-off. Maybe someone who's making the movie sees this video and says, you know what, this guy has some good casting choices. It's not a very diverse list, I'm going to admit that now. But these are actors that I would like to see work together in a face-off reboot. So let's start here. I have Daniel Craig and Pierce Brosnan. That's right, 007 going against 007. Originally, I had Daniel Craig against Matt Damon, but then I thought, wait a minute, David, come on, you gotta put James Bond versus James Bond. That would be cool. Have Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig switching faces and then playing the other person. It would be amazing. It would be the James Bond battle that we haven't seen before, especially since Daniel Craig is finally retiring. Why doesn't he go after his old the guy who used to play Bond before him and go at each other? I don't know. Look, I just think seeing James Bond against James Bond would be cool. So there you go. And who would be the villain? I don't know. Daniel Craig has played a villain before. Or maybe that would be the obvious choice, right? Maybe have him play the villain, but then be the one that swaps, so that way he's kind of like the good guy, and Pierce Brosnan becomes the villain after. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale. We haven't seen these two actors work since The Prestige, and guess what? I would love to see these two actors reunite on screen. I think they're 2 of my favorite actors out there right now currently. If I were to list my top 10, I think Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman would definitely be in my top 10 actors of all time. Maybe not of all... Well, I don't know. I would have to think about it. But yeah, they're 10 actors that I definitely like in this day and age. They were great in The Prestige. They went at each other in The Prestige. Let's have a round 2 this time in a face-off style movie. I think it would be really cool. Maybe Hugh Jackman can play the good guy this time because Christian Bale was kind of the good guy in Prestige. If you guys haven't seen that movie, I'm sorry for ruining it. Go check that movie out. I love The Prestige. And it would be a cool switcheroo from that movie. So, moving on, I have Chris Evans and Henry Cavill. That's right, Captain America against Superman. Why not? I mean, both of these are the representatives of their fellow comic book universes. You got Chris Evans, who played Captain America for the MCU, and then Henry Cavill, who plays Superman in the DCEU. Give the fans the battle they've been all wanting, although one of them is going to have to turn out to be the good guy at the end, and I think more people would be rooting for Captain America for some reason. But yes, Chris Evans and Henry Cavill, I think they can play in a movie together, shake hands, and go at it, and we'll see who the victor turns out to be. Represent your team. Moving on, I got Dwayne Johnson and Dave Bautista. Some people will say, why not Dwayne Johnson and John Cena? Well, I think Dave Bautista is a little bit more famous than John Cena. Maybe this is going to be controversial to say. I don't know. But yeah, John Cena, he's great too. I would have picked him also. I was close to picking him. But I feel like Dave Bautista is, like, out of all these wrestlers that have become actors, I feel like he is the second best known. If you show my mom or dad pictures of Dave Bautista and John Cena, I guarantee you they would know Dave Bautista a little bit more because of Guardians of the Galaxy. He was also in Blade Runner 2049, and he was in, I think he was in Spectre too. So yeah, he played the bad guy in Spectre. He was one of the henchmen for Blofeld. So yeah, and he was in a comedy this year with, who was the actor's name? I forgot what the actor's name, but he's going to be in The Eternals. So yeah, I mean, Dave Bautista and Dwayne Johnson going at it, the two biggest stars when it comes to wrestling right now. Well, they're not wrestlers anymore. They put that behind them now. But they're actors now. Wrestlers turned actors. I think they're the biggest right now. So yeah, I would love to see those two go at it on the big screen. I think Dwayne Johnson can play a villain for once. Why not? If he wants to play the hero, that's fine. Dave Bautista seems to be a little bit more lighter or less pickier on what he wants to play, so I think he wouldn't mind playing the bad guy. So I think it would all work out. So with that being said, moving on to my last two choices, I got Chris Hemsworth and Will Ferrell. Now, before you guys get angry at me, David, this is supposed to be an action movie. Action thriller, whatever. Look, I think turning Face Off into a comedy, an R-rated comedy, isn't a bad idea also. We know Chris Hemsworth can pull off comedy. We've seen him in Ghostbusters, the 2016 one. He was the funniest person in that movie. We've seen him in the Vacation reboot. The only funniest scene in the movie came from him. And then, obviously, in the Thor films and the Avengers films, he's terrific all the time. He pulls it out. They made Thor Ragnarok. The reason they got Taika Waititi to direct Thor Ragnarok was because they realized how funny Chris Hemsworth was, so let's make that movie a little bit more funnier than the previous two Thor movies. And now Thor is, like, considered one of the coolest characters in the Marvel Universe. So to have him go up against Will Ferrell, I think that would be interesting. I want to see Chris Hemsworth type of comedy going up against Will Ferrell's type of crazy antics. I think there's some gold to be had there, and maybe someone in Hollywood just hasn't thought of it yet. I'm pitching these ideas to you guys. You guys should be hiring me for my ideas. I have so many more that I could probably pitch to you. But look, Chris Hemsworth, he could play the bad guy. Will Ferrell could be the underdog, good guy. I think it could work. I think it could work. Or hell, make Will Ferrell the bad guy. I'm sure he won't mind. Either way, wins. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please don't forget to comment and tell me your list of actors. Who are two actors that you would like to see go head to head against each other? I know there's so many out there that you could pick, and my list is not so diverse, I know, but they were the names that came to my head and whatever. So with that being said, please like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I love movies and I want to talk to people about movies, and that's why I create this content. So with that being said, until next time, take care.